Have you ever looked at an assignment that's been sitting there for a month and thought, I'll do it tomorrow? Then tomorrow becomes next week becomes next month, and then suddenly you're questioning every single life decision that led you to this moment. Well, that's exactly what happened to me with my AP World History flashcards. We were assigned 230 flashcards and we had an entire month to complete them. 30 days, 720 hours. More than enough time, you would think, right? Apparently not for me. Today, I would like to confess how I procrastinated on 230 AP World flashcards, the consequences of my procrastination, as well as what I learned from the overall experience. When my teacher first assigned the flashcards, I was confident. I told myself 230 flashcards, that should be a piece of cake. Then I did what every single professional procrastinator does. Absolutely nothing. The first week, I decided I deserved a break. The second week, I convinced myself I worked better under pressure. The third week, I suddenly became interested in everything except flashcards. My room got cleaned. I watched videos. I organized random folders on my computer that had not been touched in years. By the fourth week, I had completed exactly 0 flashcards. Then reality hit. The assignment was due the next day. I stared at the number 230 like it was the final boss in a video game. At that moment, I realized that my plan of future me will handle it had failed because future me had become present me. The consequences were immediate. Instead of peacefully relaxing after school, I spent hours speedrunning world history. Kings, empires, trade routes, revolutions, everything blended together perfectly. At some point, I wasn't sure whether I was making flashcards or inventing entirely new historical events. I lost sleep. I lost my sanity. I may have even lost a few brain cells. Meanwhile, my friends who had actually worked on the assignment throughout the month were relaxing while I was frantically writing flashcards, like I was being timed on a game show. The worst part was knowing that the stress was completely avoidable. I had been given a whole month, but I somehow turned it into a one-night emergency. After surviving the flashcard disaster, I learned something very important. Procrastination feels good in the moment, but it creates a much bigger problem later. Every day I delayed, I thought I was saving myself work. In reality, I was just borrowing stress from my future self. I have started trying to break large assignments into smaller pieces. Instead of thinking about 230 flashcards, I could have done about 8 flashcards a day. 8. That is less intimidating than 230. I've also learned that doing it later is usually code for I'm creating a problem for myself. And unfortunately, future me is no longer willing to clean up all of present me's messes. Remember when I said I had an entire month to complete 230 flashcards? Looking back, the assignment wasn't the real challenge. The real challenge was overcoming my ability to convince myself that tomorrow would magically solve everything. If you are a fellow procrastinator, my advice is simple. Don't trust the version of yourself that says, I will start tomorrow, because before you know it, you'll be sitting at your desk at midnight surrounded by flashcards, wondering how 230 pieces of paper became your greatest enemy. Thank you.